All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here again. How are you? Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, passing it on. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and all the support that you've been given so far. I don't know when this is released. I mean, obviously, if you listen to the audio, it comes out on Monday, but I don't know when it's released in relation to the video. So the inauguration, am I saying that right? Yeah, it's the inauguration. Hope that went well, right? Hope there was no incidents there. That now and again, I'm going to be ahead of the time or behind the time again. I released this and maybe another catastrophe happened, and of course, I'm just going to be talking about dumb shit. But we'll plow on and see anyway. So this week was fun for me. I got to go to I went floating. Sounds deep, right? I went floating yesterday at one of those float tanks. My friend he's been trying to get me to go for a long time. James, who owns Floatopia in Dix Hills on Long Island. If you live on Long Island, go check it out. It's fantastic. But let me tell you about the experience, right? What floating is. It's basically you walk into this kind of cocoon type thing, total darkness, total silence, and the salt in the water just allows you to float, right? And what you're supposed to, and it's an hour and a half, right? Which kind of feels like hour and a half. That's a bit much in it, but yeah. So it's an hour and a half, and here's what goes when you get into this thing. You literally are floating, and you can't feel your body. You can't hear anything. You're supposed to concentrate on your breathing, and once you kind of get in there, right, and you're floating, and then all of a sudden the silent, like the only thing you can hear, you can't even hear yourself breathe. The only thing you can hear is just your heart, your own heartbeat, right? And you're supposed to, it's like forced meditation. So I've never meditated before. I know comedians who do. They go, oh, download this app. I'm not fucking meditating from an app, you crazy person. Never been able to meditate before. I think I tried it a few times, just couldn't nail it. So so I get in and I go, all right, I guess this is forced meditation, and your mind moves very quickly at first, right? You get in and everything is hitting your head at once, coming to you fast. You know what I mean? Like, oh fucking, I got a show this week. I gotta get ready for. I hope this new joke works. Don't you hate it when you go to let people out when they're trying to merge and they don't pull out? Like, fucking get out, you prick. I'm slowing down to let you out. Fucking move. You know, Scarlett Johansson's ass is just as nice as her tits, but nobody talks about that. They only talk about her tits. And, you know, all these different things kind of flash your mind at once, and then you kind of slow it down, right? Then you're able to slow it down and like you catch it. People say you hallucinate in there, and I kind of did for about 45 seconds, because what I was doing was like I was floating and I put my head back, right? Because you have no pillow and you're trying to. That's the part where you have to adjust, because like if I let my head go, you kind of restrict and letting your head go back. So when I let that go in, I kind of congested my nose, so I was breathing through my mouth, and I was breathing through my mouth. I could hear this like whistle. You know what I mean? It was like. And then I saw this lagoon, and I heard someone whistling at the lagoon. So this was like, I'd never seen it before. Maybe I did in a movie, on a TV show, in a magazine. Maybe it was from the back of my subconscious. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then I realized, oh, I'm hallucinating. And once you realize you're hallucinating, you come right back out. Then you're back into the normalcy, right? Then you're back in to try and get back into it again. You know, like I'm thinking about my friend who I saw last week. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he's a conspiracy theorist, and he's like, you know, some line there, and all of a sudden, yeah, you know, and that's the thing about conspiracy theorist guys, right? I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, so whatever I say from here on in are stuff I've heard, so I don't want to get shut down off YouTube for spreading misinformation. This is somebody else's thoughts. But I meet my friend, I don't want to mention his name, but he's talking about like, oh, you do realize, you know, that the coronavirus was created to flatten everything out, so we just have everything electronically, and we all have one currency, and everyone's on the same salary, and Biden is in on it, and all this stuff, and he's you know, he's a hardcore conspiracy theorist. And the weird thing about conspiracy theorists, right, is that you a lot of them are smart people, but then they say something that's so weird that you go like, yeah, you're fucking out of your mind. You're out of your mind. But then, you know, some of the conspiracy theorists have been right. Like, didn't Alex Jones, again, I'm repeating it, so I'm not vouching for Alex Jones. YouTube, don't kick me off. But didn't he say, like about 2 years ago, didn't he go and say, like, yeah, there's this place called Fuck Island where these people go, and all these celebrities and scientists, and they go out and they have sex with underage girls and that kind of stuff. And people are like, yeah, of course, shut up, fucking Fuck Island. And then Epstein comes along, right? So it's just, look, there's something to be said about these conspiracy lads. Some of them, you know, they kind of lose credibility. So yeah, so I'm and then that's in my mind, like, fucking is China trying to make us all work for them now? Are we all going to be on one wage? Are we all going to be, instead of an alarm clock, is it going to be a gong? Racist. I know, it's a bad joke, but so I got, you know, all this shit is going on in your mind, and then you sit there and you're like, all right, maybe now is the time where you sit there and the bit that your mind opens up, right? And you're like, back, what was I thinking about this week? I was thinking about the aliens, right? Are the aliens here? Are they coming? Are they here now? And look at everywhere you go now. Everywhere you go, there's so many people coming forward now, right? You have like that, you know, even on Joe Rogan this week, you had what's his name, Travis Walton, the guy who got abducted. He said he got abducted years and years ago by these. He was out in the woods. Always happens in the woods, doesn't it? Really. They're never at the movie theater. You know what I mean? They're never sitting there watching a bowl of popcorn and they get taken out. And so they get brought out, and the guy got taken up by the aliens, and they you know, they were looking after him. They kept him for a few days, and you know, they looked like the cliche thing with the big eyes and all that stuff. And then you had you know, Avi Loeb, who found that Maui or something, Mawa or something. Another guy was on Rogan, and he was talking about this thing that was found that was from outer space. The government released this statement in 2020 in the middle of all the shit that they had found, right? They found it, stuff, and they said that was not of this world. The government said that. Granted, they did kind of throw it in, right? They did kind of throw it in the middle of the world breaking down, right? They were very kind of sneaky about how they put that in, right? Remember, like, oh, fucking, you know, George Floyd got murdered. Yeah, fucking riots. Here come the aliens. Trump's a prick. What was that? Trump's a prick. No, go back a bit. Aliens or something. I don't know. Right? And they said this and they dropped it, and nobody gave a shit. We didn't care. And it was legit. The Pentagon released this information. So you sit there and you wonder to yourself, you know, what else happened? That Commander David Fravor came out, right? He's the guy who saw the Tic Tac thing, and he came out and he said they found it, and it, you know, went off the radar. He's a commander. And then you had Bob Lazar came forward, and he talked about, you know, working on these alien ships, and you know, it's you know, and then NASA released like a few months ago, they said that out of all the stars that are in the galaxy, right, every star has about a dozen planets attached to it, meaning that, look, there's a lot of shit going on there, right? And out of all these planets, we can't be the only ones, right? We can't be the only ones. So that, you know, you sit there and you think, like, and people have been saying this shit for years, and whenever somebody talks about like aliens, it's always, and I was always a non-believer. I was always a non-believer of UFOs and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, of course, because it's always a fucking redneck that finds it, right? God damn, we was out there, we found. It's always one of those guys. It's never a college professor smoking a pipe on his front lawn, contemplating, right? You know, debating some of the great works of our time. Philosophizing, is that a word? He's been smart on his porch, and he sees an alien. It's always a fucking redneck idiot, right? And then you think, why would the aliens choose him? Why would an alien pick him to do experiments on? If he's a redneck, he's going to be full of fucking Cheetos and Mountain Dew. That's all he's going to find on him. It's always an idiot that gets picked up by the aliens and taken off, right? Isn't it though? So we gotta, we gotta sit there and look and think about this. Like, would now be a good time for them to go? So let's just go a second. Let's just say that these aliens are, what they're doing is they're watching us, right? And they've been watching us since the dawn of time. There's one theory. They've been watching us since the dawn of time, like we watch chimps, right? We watch chimps, we study them, right? We study chimps, we pretty much have it down. We don't interfere, but we're getting close to interfering with chimps, right? Because now you see, if you watch something on the Disney Channel with like one of those chimp documentary, and now they've started to pick up chimps like, oh, fucking rock, I can open up this fucking coconut, right? And now they find that they're getting rocks to open up coconuts, where beforehand they would just bang a coconut. I don't know, I'm not a fucking monkeyologist, but they would take a rock and break open now they're breaking open the things with rocks, right? And then there's a picture of that orangutan. Is it orangutan? Orangutan. I think it's orangutan. Now I don't even know. I can't speak tonight. But anyway, so it's this orangutan, and he's got a picture of him. He's got a spear, right? And he's hunting, and we're watching that. We go like, all right, now he's got the rocks, and now they're hunting with spears, right? Do we jump in now? Do we stop him? Because we're getting very close to we know where this goes, right? What's he doing? He's tying the rock to the stick now. Get it off him. Get it off him. That's fucking... Now he's got tying rocks to stick. No. To advance. So maybe these guys are watching us as we progress, right? We're in our caves. We get our rocks. We're like, oh, look at them. They figured out the rocks. That's good, right? Now, and maybe there's one guy like, look, I think we should stop him. Because it's like all the movies, right? When you watch a movie, isn't there always like a scientist? Every disaster movie starts off with a scientist telling people, we got to stop this. So maybe that's what this is, right? And there's one guy standing there, and he's the scientist that these guys watching us, and they're like, look at they got rocks, they got fire. I think we should step in now. They've got fire now. No, we'll let them go a little bit. All right. You fast forward a few years, you got the Mayans. Look, they're cutting people's heads off and throwing them down a hill. Should we stop them? No. Let's just see where they go. You fast forward, the fucking Genghis Khan comes along. He wipes out half the world. They're like, can we jump in? Look, he's like, this half the world is gone now already. No, let's just keep going. From Genghis Khan, what do you get then? You fucking, the Roman Empire is built, right? Like, they're making each other fight for entertainment now, just for no reason whatsoever, right? They're building pyramids. They're probably going to blame us for those now. Look where they're building them in the worst place. Keep going. They're watching us. We're becoming idiots now. The fucking plague hits us in Europe. Like, now, no, we keep going, and now we go up, and now you see it all, right? We're fighting with each other based on race. The civil rights movement happened. World War I, World War II, fucking Japanese War. You drop fucking Hiroshima. I don't know if I said that name right either. You drop the atomic bomb. Aliens are like, I really think we should jump in there now. And they're like, just let's see where this plays out. And now we jump up, and you're looking at, you fast forward, and we get a leader. We get Kennedy gets assassinated. It goes all the way up, and now the fucking idiots are storming the Capitol. And maybe they're just done, and they're going like, right now, that's it. They cannot evolve. They're fucked up. They can't do it. And now maybe that's why they're jumping in. Maybe they're looking at TikTok and go, what a bunch of fucking idiots. What a bunch of fucking morons. That's all they're doing now. That's what they've done. They've developed this technology, and the furthest they've come is shaking their ass on a thing called TikTok. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time we just go down there and shut it fucking down. Maybe that's all we are. We're being in a social experiment. Maybe that's all it is. And that's the thing too. I think when they come forward though, right? I think that's going to fuck up religious people. That is because, like, God created the heavens and the earth. So now what are they going to do? Like, do like a Joseph Smith? Oh, we found another part of the book here. Really? Yeah, it says, and we put another group of people on Earth 2. We call it Earth 2. And they're going to come by once in a while. And Jesus, that's where Jesus goes. He's micromanaging. He's running between two Earths. And that's what he was doing. So when he left one Earth, he didn't go to heaven right away. He had to stop off over there for a few years, and then he went to heaven. Like, okay, and we'd believe it, right? We'd believe it. So they, and I think I just think we're all fucked, and I think they are coming. And then there's morons out there who think that, well, they're coming. They're gonna pick us and take us. Like, why the fuck would they pick us? Right? Why? If anything, they would bring like the Elon Musks of the planet. They would be the ones that you would talk to, right? Maybe that's what happened to Jack Ma. Maybe Jack Ma, billionaire, Chinese billionaire, the guy who owns fucking Chinese Amazon, right? You know that guy, multi-billionaire. Nobody's seen him. Nobody's seen him in weeks. Not a trace, not a phone call, not an email, not a fucking smoke signal. He has just vanished. Nobody knows. He's on the Chinese version of Shark Tank, the Chinese version of whatever that fucking the Dragon's Den, whatever you want to call it, and he's gone talking shit about the Chinese government, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he's aliens. Maybe the aliens took him. Maybe he's just sleeping, and he's decided not to answer any text messages or emails because he talks shit about the Chinese government. Maybe the aliens came along and took him, right? But people who say they've seen aliens, they're always the weird ones, right? They're never like I said, it's never a normal person, and it's always someone that just wants to be. It's always someone that wants to be special, want to be part of the group, right? Or they want to have a story. They've done nothing with their lives, so they want to have a story to tell. That's it. The exaggeration of the story. Like, what was that doctor when she came out first? I wrote it down actually. Stella Emmanuel. Remember her? She came forward and she was like, listen, if I'm a doctor, if you have COVID, the thing you want to take for is, what's that drug? I wrote that down too. Hydroxychloroquine. I only say that because I can't remember the name. Hydroxychloroquine. She goes, that is the best thing you can take for COVID. Again, don't shut me down, YouTube. I'm repeating what she said. She goes, take that. That's going to be great. And they're like, yeah, I see. And then Trump was out there. Isn't she a great doctor? She knows everything. Great, best doctor. And she goes, also, I have sex with demons. Just get out. Fucking, like, sorry about that. You know what I mean? These people lose their credibility. They lose their credibility. So I think if they are coming, they're not taking people. I just think they're watching us like we watch those chimps. I think they watch us like we study, and I just think they're looking down. They're going like, you know what? Kanye and Kim have broken up. If that's not enough reason for us to interfere to help these people, to save them, they're what's wrong with my computer here? Let me see. Move this to there, right? So they're out there, and Kanye and Kim, they broke up, and I think now is a great time for the aliens to come in and say, maybe step in, maybe the aliens act like marriage counselors to help Kanye and Kim. It's possible. I had a thing I talked about a long time ago, and it's not my theory, but a bunch of other people have said it, is that maybe these aliens are time travelers. Right? It's possible. It's possible, meaning that that's what we're going to look like in the future, because when you look at it, they have big heads for the brains, right? Right? They have no mouths, little mouths. And then you look at like how we might evolve. Like Elon Musk is now putting the neuro thing into your brain, so when I talk to you, I won't have to talk anymore. I can just sit there and right, and I'll think what I'm wanting to say, and you'll laugh or cry or report me, and so now they're not speaking anymore. So there's no vocal cords. There's no need to talk through their mouth anymore, because they just so what if we evolve that and our mouths get smaller? They have no dicks or vaginas. They don't have any dicks or vaginas. Why would they need it, right? Because now even now they're starting for humans to have babies in pods. Like you can go have like in a few years, if you go to a mommy party and all the mothers are sitting around with the babies, and if you're happy and clap your hands, and the mother's like, do you vaccinate? And one mother goes, I don't vaccinate, and then people are like, ugh, she doesn't vaccinate her kids. So if you have a natural birth, you'll be the new weird one, because it'll all just be pod baby, and you'll design your baby, give them now. Like I found it weird when you went to Burger King at a rest stop, and you could design your own burger by pressing the buttons. You don't even talk to the person anymore, and you stick your card in the bottom, and then you go pick up your burger over here. So I take the fucking lettuce off, and give me 2 cheeses, fucking onions, ketchup, and you're making this burger on the screen. You put your card in, and you fuck off. And that's what we do with your babies. Yeah, I want blonde hair. Give him blonde. You sure you want a him? Let's fucking make it a him. And we'll do this, and you'll fucking put like muscular arms on him, and you'll do all that, and you'll design your baby, and you'll fuck off, and you'll get your baby, the baby that you want of your dreams. And I think so. When that happens, we don't need reproductive organs anymore, right? We don't need to get aroused. We don't need that. So now they'll be gone, right? They'll be gone. And the way that people are coming after people who are like considered toxic masculinity, right? They're going to try to get rid of them. So soon they'll get rid of the gyms, and we won't have any biceps. They'll get rid of the gyms. There'll be no triceps, no pecs. So we'll have just gangly muscles like these things. So then eventually, in thousands upon thousands of years, we will evolve into these people. And then maybe they get back into a fucking time machine, and they loop around. And they come back and they go, look, and maybe these aliens we see are just like aliens on a field trip, like back, you know what I mean? Like they could be just, they might not even be the best of the best. They could be just the idiots of the alien world, and they're just like ones who just picking these. And like, Johnny, stop picking your nose. Come on, let's go. We're gonna go to Earth. We're gonna have a look at the fucking idiots. Can I feed? You can't feed them. We'll go to the gift shop. We'll see what they do. What do they do? Oh, they're on this fucking dumb thing called TikTok. Trust me, they're fine. What's going? Look at Kanye and Kim broke up, and it's a whole thing. And we'll talk. You can write a paper on it when you get back to class, and maybe that's what we're seeing. We're just seeing them time traveling back to have a look at what we were, and it's like a fancy history lesson of what we used to be. Right? It's like their art is probably their natural history museum. It's a weird theory. It is possible, right? So anyway, I'm done floating. And I got all that from floating. I'm lying there and I'm focused, and all of this was going on in my mind. All of this was going on in my mind while I was floating. I had no choice. You have no choice but to concentrate. So if you're an overthinker, I think floating is good for you. What I mean by overthinker is not like as in like, oh, I got so many things to do, I got so many things on my mind. It just means like if you're an overthinker, like if you walk into a party and there's a bunch of, there's a plate full of cookies, and you would go like, oh, someone, would you like a cookie? And you go like, fuck, I'd love a cookie, but nobody else is having one. You don't want to seem like a fat fuck. So you go, nah, I'm fine, but you really do want a cookie, right? That's type of overthinking. I think if you go into flow, like it fixes that. If someone says something to you and then you overanalyze it, it's definitely for you. If you want to meditate, it's a forced meditation. I definitely think it is. It's worth to check out. So you should definitely head over. I said definitely a lot. What the fuck is wrong with me? I think you should head over if you live on Long Island. If not, go to one near you. Go to one near you. But if you live on Long Island, I highly recommend you go to Flutopia in Dix Hills. Tell him Mick Thomas sent you. Tell him Mick Thomas sent you, and he will give you a very nice discount. But that's it. That's all I gotta say. That was my week in a nutshell. So thanks for listening. Don't forget, guys, we have the other podcast, Almost Irish, with my buddy Dan Barry, Dennis Rooney. That's also available wherever you get your podcast, like you do for here. Podbean, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. It's everywhere. Anywhere you get your podcast, you can get the Almost Irish podcast too. So anyway, wrap it up. Aliens are coming. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I don't know how much longer we'll be doing this for before they come down and take us. And you never know. Maybe I'll be a star on their planet. You never know. I got to make it somewhere, right, guys? Anyway, listen. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, liking, subscribing, and sharing. I appreciate it. And as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. I'll talk to you soon. Good luck to you. Good luck.